So how much do you need for retirement in Canada? If you have been living in Canada for a while now, I think you will agree that the living standard in Canada is generally pretty good. Especially where I live in Vancouver, BC, you can literally golf and ski on the same day. But what comes with this high living standard is also a high price tag. It's no secret that Canada is an expensive country. From housing to cell phone bills and all the taxes that we have to pay, it's not an easy thing to meet our ends, let alone save up for retirement. According to a poll done by CIBC back in 2018, Canadians estimate they will need an average of $756,000 for retirement, yet the average amount Canadians have saved for retirement is only at $184,000. What's more surprising is that the fact that 90% of the respondents don't have a detailed retirement plan describing their retirement lifestyle or income needs. And 30% have no retirement savings at all, while 26% have no clue on how much they will need for retirement. So in today's video, I want to share with you how much you will need to retire in Canada and where to begin. Hey, how's it going? My name is Thomas, here to help Canadians to make better choices on their retirement, wealth, and insurance. My goal for each video is to make sure you can take one or two things home and implement right away. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you won't miss my weekly video. When you talk to people around you, it seems like $1 million is that magic number that most people aim to have for retirement. So why do most people think you need to have $1 million in order to retire? Or does it only sound good because it will make you a millionaire? Is $1 million actually enough to get you through retirement in reality? Let's break it down. As I mentioned in my previous videos on retirement planning, there isn't one plan that fits everyone's needs, as everyone's situation is different. Like how much water we should drink per day. The simple answer is around 4 liters, but that's not the only answer. So likewise, there isn't one number that says this will be enough for everyone. You gotta take into account that what age you want to retire, the lifestyle you want to have after retirement, and if you'll be having any income at all after retirement, etc. Having said that, there are many rules that can help us figure out what numbers we need to retire more easily. So there's the infamous 4% rule and the 25 times rule. The idea kinda came from the concept of FIRE, financial independence and retire early. These two rules are probably the most widely used for retirement planning. The rule of 4% states that during your retirement, it's recommended to withdraw 4% of what you saved. Once you figure out what you need to live off of, you can better determine how much you need to save in total. As for the 25 times rule, it suggests that you should assume 25 years of retirement. Together, these two rules can give you a rough idea of how much you will need to save up for retirement. For example, let's say Tom figures that each year he will need $50,000 for his living expense. His OAS and CPP will contribute around $10,000 of his retirement income, meaning the other $40,000 would have to be covered by his own savings in today's money. If Tom anticipates his retirement life to be 25 years, then $1 million is indeed the magical retirement number. Because if you put that $1 million in an investment portfolio that gives him a 4% return every year, then pretty much he won't outlive the money. Now again, keep in mind these are just common rules that are used for retirement planning. They serve as a good starting point, but let's not forget there's still many factors that will affect the actual amount of retirement savings required, such as inflation, your investment's rate of return, the age of your retirement. Remember this, the plan can be perfect, but us as human beings aren't. In fact, the term 4% rule is a little misleading as well, because you're withdrawing 4% of your savings in year 1 of your retirement. But for the subsequent years, you're supposed to adjust the annual withdrawal by the rate of inflation, and the withdrawals are also subject to tax. Also, with the recent FIRE movement that has popularized early retirement, some individuals retire even in their 30s or 40s. For these individuals, the 25 times rule obviously doesn't apply, and the 4% withdrawal also has little use because it doesn't work well for more than 35 years of retirement. So going back to our first question, whether that $1 million magic number makes sense for most people, this time we'll use a financial calculator to help us to verify. For instance, Nancy is 30 years old, wants to retire at 60, and she wants to keep the same living standard as today. She's currently making $60,000 a year. With the help of the financial calculator, with a 3% inflation every year, Nancy needs to make around $125,000 when she retires. And since she will start working, she needs an investment portfolio that can give her $125,000 per year. So let's times this number by 10, and that gave her $1.25 million. Because at her retirement, with a 10% return every year, then she will get $125,000. If we want to be more conservative, instead of times that by 10, we might need to times it by 15 or 20 to adjust for a lower return. Back to the $1.25 million retirement saving, meaning Nancy needs to save $10,000 a year with an 8% return per year, and she needs to start today. Fun fact, if we divide $10,000 to Nancy's current income of $60,000, we'll get 16.7%. Do you know what is the annual RSP contribution limit? It's based on 18% of your previous year income. You see, the Canadian government didn't randomly select a percentage. Their intention is that if you can save that 15 to 18% of income with a reasonable rate of return for a long period of time, then you are set for retirement. I will leave the financial calculator at the bottom so you will know a more accurate retirement number in Canada. So Thomas, does that mean as long as I reach that number, then I'm safe? Not quite, and here's why. Retirement is no longer the final stage of our lives, but instead is a transition between life stages, no different than going to school or getting married. There are 3 stages in retirement: the go-go stage, the slow-go stage, and the no-go stage. The go-go stage is right after your work life, where pretty much every day is your weekend. You will travel, you will play golf, and most likely living in the same house. So in the go-go stage, you will usually spend more than what you used to make back then, because that's the time when you have the most flexibility. For the slow-go stage, you're still enjoying the same thing as the go-go stage, but you do less frequently. As a result, you'll probably spend a little less than what you used to make. And lastly, for the no-go stage, you'll probably spend more time at home, less activities, so in terms of money, you'll be spending roughly around 70% of what you used to make. So in summary, the law of average suggests that 1 to 1.2 million in your bank account should put you in a comfortable position to enjoy retirement life. Following these simple hacks can help us quickly determine a figure that we should aim towards saving for retirement. And if you want to have an even more accurate picture, there are many online calculators that we can use, and I'll post the links below. Hey, I hope this helps you get some clarity on your retirement journey. As Canadians, we are quite fortunate that there are supplemental retirement incomes for us from the government, such as the CPP, OAS, and the GIS. My plan for this year is to explain further how you can achieve that magic retirement number when you're in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s. And how do you stay financially independent from the market volatility, inflation, and taxes without the need to depend on government benefits? So make sure to give me a thumbs up if you'd like me to dive deeper. The more likes you guys give, the faster I can make these videos. In the meantime, check out my previous videos that are dedicated to this topic. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.